All right, everybody, welcome back. We are diving deep today all about ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, yeah.
And I bet you're thinking, ChatGPT?
Yeah.
I already know about that. I've used that. I've played with that. What else is there to know?
Right. We get it all the time.
We do, but this deep dive is going to be about how to use ChatGPT better.
Way better.
Like, way better.
Level up
Yeah.
your ChatGPT game.
Yeah, and the cool thing is we have this great piece called How to Use ChatGPT Better to help guide us.
It's a good one.
It is a good one. So much good stuff in here.
Yeah, lots of tips and tricks.
And actually, one of the most surprising takeaways for me is that it's not just what you ask.
It's how you ask it.
It's how you ask it.
Yeah, big difference.
Big difference.
Huge.
Huge. So let's start with the basics.
Okay.
Clarity.
The foundation of good prompting.
Yes.
Yes.
Clear and specific questions.
Yeah, it's so easy to just kind of like throw a vague prompt out there.
Oh, yeah. I do it all the time.
And hope for the best, right? But when you really take the time to think about what you want and articulate it, clearly ChatGPT can really deliver.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing the difference in the quality of responses you get.
Night and day.
Yeah, like one of the examples in here, the article talks about like asking for the latest trends in AI technology.
Yeah.
That's way more helpful than just asking about like technology.
Right, which could be anything.
Could be anything.
From toasters to spaceships.
Exactly.
You need to give it that specific focus.
Okay, so we've got our clear question, but then what if we're tackling something big?
Ah, yes. The dreaded complex task.
Right. And I don't know about you, but my brain works better in bite-sized pieces.
Me too, me too. I can't just swallow information whole. I need to break it down, digest it bit by bit.
Exactly. And guess what? ChatGPT's the same way.
Really?
It is.
I never thought about it like that.
I know, right? It's like we're giving it mental snacks instead of a whole buffet.
Love that analogy.
Hmm.
So how do we actually do this? Like, practically?
The article uses essay writing as an example.
Okay.
So instead of saying, write me a 5-page essay about this, you start with an outline,
Right. Break it down.
break it down, and then you generate sections one by one.
Much more manageable.
Much more manageable. Have you tried this?
Yeah, I've actually started doing this with all sorts of projects, not just writing. Like if I'm trying to plan a big event or even just organize my thoughts on a complex topic,
Yeah.
chunking it down into smaller steps just makes everything less overwhelming.
Totally, totally. But here's the thing that really blew my mind when I was reading this article. Context.
Context. Okay, tell me more.
I used to be like, ChatGPT, do this. ChatGPT, write this.
Barking wonders, huh?
Totally. But now I realize like I was missing this whole layer of communication.
Because it's not just a tool. It's almost like, dare I say, a partner.
It kind of is.
You know, it can work with you, but you have to give it something to work with.
Yeah, and giving it context changes everything. It's like instead of saying, paint me a picture, you say, paint me a picture of a sunset over the ocean with these colors, with this kind of mood, with birds flying.
Wow, that's a much more vivid image.
And you get a much better result from ChatGPT.
It's like that saying garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
But if you feed it rich details, you get much richer results. It makes me think about, if you're teaching someone a new skill, the more context you give them, the better they understand and the faster they learn.
Absolutely. And you know what that actually reminds me of? It's like the prompts that we're giving ChatGPT are like instructions.
Ooh, that's a good way to put it.
So the more detailed and specific those instructions are, the better the outcome's going to be.
Makes sense.
Right. It's like if you're baking a cake, if the recipe just said mix ingredients and bake, you'd probably be in trouble.
Right. You need measurements, temperatures, timings,
Exactly.
the whole 9 yards. So with ChatGPT, those prompts, those are your recipe for success.
They are. And the article gives us a great example. It says, write a 300-word essay on the causes of World War II.
Nice and specific.
Specific. You know how long it needs to be. You know what the topic is.
You're setting it up for success.
But then there's this other thing that's so interesting to me, rephrasing.
The art of the rewrite.
Sometimes I'll be working with ChatGPT and I'll be stuck, and then I just rephrase the prompt in a slightly different way.
And boom, it clicks.
It clicks.
I've had that happen so many times. It's like you're trying to find the right combination to unlock a safe.
It is.
And sometimes just changing one word or flipping the sentence around, suddenly ChatGPT is like, oh, now I get what you're asking.
Yes. But we also got to be real. ChatGPT is not perfect.
It's true. It's a powerful tool, but it has its limitations.
Definitely.
And one of the biggest things to remember is that it doesn't have access to the internet.
Right. Like real-time, up-to-the-minute information.
Exactly. So it can sometimes give you outdated information, which is why it's always a good idea to double check anything important.
Especially if you're using it for research or something really crucial.
Absolutely.
Don't just take everything it says as gospel.
Right. You still need to use your own judgment and critical thinking skills.
Yeah. But even with those limitations in mind, I still find ChatGPT so useful for learning and sparking creativity.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I've used it to brainstorm ideas, explore new topics, even play around with writing in different styles.
It's like having a brainstorming buddy.
It is.
You can bounce ideas off of it, get different perspectives, and explore possibilities you might not have thought of on your own.
It's amazing for generating story ideas,
Oh, yeah.
coming up with different solutions to problems.
And even just explaining complex concepts in a way that's easier to understand.
Totally. And the best part is that there's always more to learn and discover with ChatGPT.
Always. The article even mentioned some things that I was like, wait, I didn't know I could do that.
Same here, like adjusting the tone and style of his output. I have barely scratched the surface of that.
It's like having a whole team of writers at your disposal. You can ask for something formal and professional, or casual and funny, whatever fits your needs.
Wow, so cool.
It really is.
It's like we keep talking about how it's more than just a tool.
Because it really is.
It's like a partner.
It's an extension of your own creativity and thinking.
Speaking of which, the article makes a great point about setting goals. Before you even open up ChatGPT, ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve here?
I love that, because if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
Right, but if you have that clear intention, ChatGPT can help you get there so much faster.
It's the difference between aimlessly wandering around and having a map to guide you.
It really is. And in the end, it's not just about getting the answers from ChatGPT.
It's about understanding the why behind those answers.
It's about learning and growing.
And using that knowledge to become even better thinkers and creators ourselves.
So to sum up our deep dive on how to use ChatGPT better, clear questions.
Rich context.
Don't be afraid to experiment and rephrase.
And always double-check those important facts.
Don't forget your critical thinking skills.
Absolutely. But have fun with it. Explore. Experiment. You never know what amazing things you might create.
That's so true. So the article really focused on all these practical tips, but it got me thinking. What about the ethical considerations of a tool like ChatGPT? How do we use it responsibly? How do we make sure it's a force for good in the world?
That's a great question and a conversation for another deep dive. Until then, happy ChatGPTing, everyone.
Happy ChatGPTing.